Hi guys, it's Chrissy here, and I'm here to do a timeless love reading for the sign of Virgo. So if you're a Virgo, sun, moon, or rising, this is totally the read for you. This is definitely a timeless reading. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. Please go ahead and click the subscribe button. You can also leave a comment on this video and like it if you enjoyed this video. I would love to hear your feedback, to hear if it resonates. Please keep in mind that all readings can possibly work for every single person, but hopefully you can take something out of this. If not, just leave the rest behind. I am available for personal readings. That information will be down below, as well as the information on how to actually donate to my channel, okay? So thank you guys. I finally reached 100 subscribers, so I'm so super happy here. Sorry, I need a drink of water. And I noticed these cards. I don't know why I had them flipped over like that. So let me move those out of the way because they kind of just distracted me. Like really right in the middle. I didn't see that they were there. Strength card, peeking through anyway, for you people who know about cards. But yeah, so I call it Divine 11 Light. I call it the 4 Archangels from the 4 corners of the world. I call it in the 6 elements: air, earth, fire, water, spirit, and ether, to give a clear and accurate reading for the sign of Virgo today in matters of love. Now, this will be a timeless reading, so whenever you receive this reading, it'll be a great time for you to be receiving that, okay? Now, I pulled some cards before for you Virgoing, the Virgoing variety. And what I feel like, guys, is there's this need to know what's going to happen before it does. You kind of want the details before you do the journey, or before you. So if you're single, this is where you want to know if the person is the one before you open yourself up to the opportunities of anyone being the before you, okay, how am I trying to say this? Before you are able to give the purest part of yourself, you want to kind of be you kind of want to be 100% sure of a person. And this is just this sense that we need to kind of get used to, that anything can happen. Anybody can choose the course of how they want to be. There's no certain kind of way or certain guarantee at the end of it that you can know now that's going to make that person consistently be that way. People are married for 20 and 30 years, and then one day the person just wakes up and then they just decide that they don't want to do it anymore. Hell, they're probably married. People are married longer than that. That's not to say that you should not hope for the best, but this is to just say, as long as you keep in mind what your moment, what it's going to look like, no matter what turn this person takes. If you know that you want to be in a loving relationship, you'll know if you see them take a turn that's not in that kind of direction, you'll know how to leave that. Because I believe, like in the past, there's this thing to where you don't know how to kind of pay attention to the cues that are there. And I see you kind of like having a choice to kind of leave or to go a different route, and then you staying stuck in it, okay, and not really making the decisions that you need to make. But as you grow, you're starting to get a little bit better about breaking that cycle of not knowing how to know. You know it, and it's the more and more you connect and you raise your vibration to that of the life that you want, the more and more this becomes more and more clear to you, okay? So I think that now the problem is with relationships, you're not knowing that you have this skill, that you conquered that to be able to have that kind of power on this journey, so you don't want to test it out. And that's kind of like what I kind of get a feeling of right there with the Blossom card, which is also the Sun card, okay? I'm going to go ahead and pull some cards from the Light Seers. Is that what I feel like using today? Yeah, I can use that. Yeah, the helpless and hopeless card is the 8 of Swords. It's where we kind of like stay limited in our own thoughts, where we kind of don't really put ourselves out there because we're afraid that, you know, all these things that we have in our mind of how this might fail, you know, we have those things in our mind instead of letting those things kind of grow organically. We kind of already have determined what, you know, based on how far we can see. So it may, that system may work. It may not work for every single situation, because it can be rather extreme. Because once you take this journey, once you choose it, it's like you cut off the person, and then you kind of like go this way or go that way. And it's sometimes the decision is kind of irreversible. And this is where you've kind of followed that, and then you come back and you kind of regret like that to look as you're kind of growing a little bit more. You're kind of looking back at some of the things in your love life where you're like, whoa, that was kind of extreme. Like that was really, really extreme. I did the most, okay? That kind of feeling is starting to come in. And you're saying to yourself, how can I break this cycle? How can I grow from it? I want to see both of these cards at the same time. Okay. Sorry, guys. I always get this doggone dirt. Every time I mess with my plants, I get dirt on my desk and I wipe it. And then every time I think that it's completely gone, boom, there's another speck. We're going to see what things are going to hold you back, what things are going to be helping you out, and then things that are what the conclusion is out of the situation. Coming in as the thing that is holding us back is the Queen of Pentacles. And this is you, Virgo, totally you, being set and stuck in your ways. Not going to look in that direction, not going to do that anymore. This is exactly what I see. It's kind of like this. I'm a Taurus, so it's kind of like that stubborn energy. I kind of feel like that, like, I know what I know, and I don't want to do it in another way. It's kind of that thing of being kind of set in that way. And this is where, with the Queen of Pentacles, where we can be over nurturing, like to a child. Maybe for some of you who are parents out here, it is kind of like you're kind of structuring the way that child is growing by putting like ultimatums over them of how they kind of have to be. And I kind of feel that that's what you do to people. So the thing is, like in your mind, Virgo, if you have like this organization of how things will work well for you to make your life kind of work the right way, this is where you are trying to make the person or trying to make other people kind of do those things to make you feel comfortable, but they may not necessarily be who they truly are, you know, the things that you put on the people. And then whenever they finally get like kind of upset with whatever it is, then, you know, that's when things kind of, by that point, they've made the decision to say no more, you know, because it's happened too long. It's time for you to kind of look at those patterns. Once again, with the 10 here, a wheel card, 10 being a number of an ending, and also the 8 being that cycle. It's time for that cycle of life to end. And as you can see, this person is wearing these dice on her neck because it's time to take a chance. Love does not have a guarantee. Love doesn't come with guarantees that you'll know. You never will. Even a husband and wife, they're counting on their love to remain, you know, to last. They're not, you know, it's not you. They're counting on that, but that's not to say that it's going to be, you know, that they know that it's forever. And that's what the beautiful thing about love is, that you don't know, but the someone dedicating themselves to you and being committed, it's supposed to be something that's magical every day, because every day you wake up, that person is still there, committed. And if you already knew that they were going to be there, you would treat it a little bit differently than you treat it now. So it's not you don't want it that way, even though you think you do. You think you kind of want to know, but you don't really want to know in that kind of way. And I just kind of said the same thing too in another reading. It wasn't a love reading, and I was doing a reading for who was it? Cancer? I don't know if it was Cancer or Leo. I think it was Leo. But yeah, Virgo, whatever you what you think, it's something better, you know, more fitting to you than what you think. And sometimes we can kind of get, you know, we want to know so bad with the Queen of Pentacles and have all of our ducks in a row like that we will go ahead and choose for people, you know, like how they need to act or what they should be or how they'll show up in our lives, instead of letting them kind of show us and then being able to move according to what they show. You can't force a person into a mold and kind of try to control them to, you know, and just to have your kingdom be that way. You know, that's kind of it's not fair, you know? So in the Wheel of Fortune, this is where Jupiter is here to kind of magnify those things that we need to see so that we can be able to choose, make better decisions in love and in relationships with other people, so we can be the ones that are always giving back and not the ones that always take from us, okay? So it's totally making that choice. The 20 right here, the 2, those are those decisions, okay? Making those choices. Where do we need to grow? That's what we're looking at. Where do we need to grow in love? All right, I'm going to clarify with these. Clarify the Queen of Pentacles. All right. Oh, Queen of Pentacles with the Queen of Pentacles. Definitely being fixated on a certain type of way, and then missing this abundance with this rabbit right here. You see how this rabbit is almost not in sight? You can't really, if I was moving this around, you couldn't kind of see that there was a rabbit there. You're kind of missing opportunities for abundance or more prosperity because it's so big. You're being so fixated on it coming in a certain kind of a certain kind of way. The wheel is all about that fixed energy. Usually on the wheel card is all of the fixed signs. So you got Aquarius, Scorpio, Leo, and Taurus, like been stuck on that wheel, okay? Refusing to make the decision to kind of grow out of it. And it's just time for that to you know, for you to let that go. All right, you have to let your light guide you. Let the path of where you want to go guide you. You can't kind of try to think ahead for it. It will show you how to move. It'll eventually get you to the source. And I just said that same thing. It's funny. I said the same thing for, I think I said the same thing for Leo. So there could be, and you know what? This is the Leo card. There could be a significant Leo in your life right now. All of these adventures or journeys and paths that we went down that have caused us nothing but stress, disharmony. They wore us out. They've made us tired, beat up. You know, it's time for that cycle of life to change. And for us to choose better paths, one that are more fulfilling to where we are, better partners, better relationships, okay? For those of you who are in a relationship that are listening to this, you're probably thinking right now, oh, this is just for singles and it's not about me. No, it's where we don't manipulate our partners to, you know, to do what it is that we want them to do. We let them be their own person, you know, and we're loving and caring and we tend to our own garden, you know, while they tend to theirs, you know. Because here with the Queen of Cups, Queen of Pentacles, and Queen of Pentacles, the stuff that you find important to you, that person has the things that they find important to them as well. And they have a system too. So you can't just think that your system or your way of thinking is just kind of like, you know, the best, the end all be all, you know. There's a message that could come out of this about an opportunity. For some of you, of a path you can take. It could be to do with work or with business. And maybe you can kind of be on the fence about it. Maybe this is somewhere that, because of the history or the how much you've worked in another, like another place, maybe you're dealing with like this, like you've worked at a certain place for X amount of years and then you get this new opportunity. It's something you've never done before, but it's something that's kind of more exciting to you. And maybe you're kind of feeling like, ooh, do I want to risk leaving all of what it is that I've worked for to go on another path? And you definitely can, okay? Because if it hasn't been leaving you feeling like on top of the world, then don't commit to it. But that's more for a career money reading. I just had to say that in there because something led me to say that. But as far as like as love, this is definitely where you could be getting a message from a Taurus or something coming in, maybe even a Cancer. And something this summer. I don't really feel like for those of you who are single here, I definitely feel like it's some movement in your life this summer. You got the sun, you got the cherry card here, which is like the Cancer time period. You got the sun card here, which is right after Cancer, which is Leo. So you got something going on between July to in August here, where someone appears for you singles, or you're starting to get a message from someone or something like that. These are things. Also, too, you got the Page of Pentacles. So with the Page of Pentacles, this is where things show up in love. And I'm telling you this now. It's not going to be the person for you, which is funny. They're not going to get to show up fully there. That's not going to mean that you have to work on them. Like I said, they tend to their own garden. They work on themselves, but that's going to be the test for you to not put so much on them to be so much further than where they are that you miss out on the opportunity of that person. Because this is definitely somebody that, or some situation that is very, very, very balanced for you. You're going to really feel really, really good about it. Whatever it is, you got the Sun card and you got the Chariot. This is really, really feeling good on whatever chance this is that you took. But you have to get yourself in a space to be able to take chances and to take risk like that, okay? Don't be such a homebody. I mean, I know we're kind of stuck at home right now, but you know, like in spirit, okay? Another card that wanted to come out, yeah. The Swords, the Star card. This is a wish fulfilled. So something definitely comes in, okay? Something that you, even with these stars here that I'm looking at on this, something that you wish for is starting to materialize, but it happens once you start to heal whatever part of you feels like you have to kind of make these super concrete decisions. I know even with this concrete here, you know, it said it's okay to make concrete decisions, but they have to be from a balanced place. Okay, it can't be from where it's like it has some hidden agenda. You get what I'm saying? You can't kind of count on that. You can account for truth, but you can't account for like a hidden agenda or things not being, you know, right or in alignment. Okay. Yeah, I see somebody. I definitely see this being, for you singles, it's definitely some, oh, it can be an Aquarius. So we're looking at like an Aquarius, a Sag, or Aquarius. Oh, a fire sign. Okay, so we got either a fire sign. So that's all three of those. Leo. I'm lying. This is not a fire sign. This is a fire sign. This is a fire sign. This is Leo, Sagittarius, Cancer, and Aquarius. It can be any of those things. Okay. But whoever it is, it could definitely be an earth sign as well. But whoever it is, guys, they've been doing the work just as much as you. So you're going to find a match to that. You don't have to be so controlling over trying to dictate that portion of your life. If you kind of focus on yourself, focus on what it is that you want, what you want out of relationships, that's what intensity you send into that's what intention. I mean, whenever you set the intention, that's where you send your energy to create that. And you see kind of like how this star gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And then boom, it's like it crowns the person here on the chariot. Okay. It's all there. It comes down, but it's needed for you to put a little bit more energy towards that portion of it, how you want it to look. And then it's saying you can carry that desire within your heart. You carry the energy of that thing, and you'll repel anything that does not put you in the path for alignment with that person. Do you see what I'm saying? Like you'll repel the wrong people if you stand in your energy. Whenever you are working in the shadow, when you're doing things like manipulation, you open yourself up to being manipulated, you know, like because you're doing it, because that's how the universe works. Whatever you put out, you get back. That's the wheel right there. It comes back around in that kind of way. So when you deal with the dark, you know, you open yourself up to those things happening to you. But when you work with light and truth, the blossom, and you walk with that, you take it wherever you go. Look at all of these cards right here. You got the sun right here. You got this yellow in the background. The chariot, you got the yellow in the background. You got that yellow right there. You carry that light wherever you go. There's no need to try to do it. It's almost like having rich parents and then robbing a bank or something like that. Like you didn't need to do that. You were born in the money. If you choose to do it, it's just because you want to. Okay, it's not because you had to. You know, so. Life is all about those choices. You can choose for love to be difficult if you want to go on those type of excursions and you want to, you know, gamble really, really big on, you know, take big risk and get either big gains or big losses. This is your game. You get to kind of like decide on how much money you want to bet. Do you want to put a lot on it or do you want to put a little on it? But the thing is, sometimes when you play the penny slot machines, which I know because I've been to the casino a few times. When you play the penny slot machine long enough, eventually you can be playing with those pennies, but you can end up getting increment till it ends up building up to something really big, where you got the people who go and they might try to do all their money on the poker table and lose in one time and then never, you know, or something like that. So there's a method to that. There's a method to that, and to this queen, this energy that we have so well, that we're able to take things step by step. And yeah, even the steps right there, like to take things in that way and don't try to move too far ahead for the person. Like you think out things for them, and you kind of like you kind of think things out for them, or kind of put words in their mouth or think things for the person, and they are not and you don't know. Let me see how you show up to people. So I'm gonna ask that, how does Virgo show up to people? 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 Yeah, like you're in a better position to try to teach them about something. That's how they kind of look at you, like, who are you to teach me? Like you're not my teacher. It becomes more of a dictator, not saying a dictatorship, but it's like something to answer to rather than a person to be side by side with you, like balance like that. You see what I'm saying? It's like they kind of feel like it's like that's where you're kind of blocking yourself from the growth, because you're telling these kids that they can go through the hall and have a good time. But at the same time, it's like there's this little shadow right here that still kind of keeps everybody from doing whatever they want to do. So it's like this. It's like saying, oh, I'm free. We can go anywhere. We can eat anything. And then a person says, well, let's go here. You're like, oh, well, I don't eat that. Then let's go here. Well, I don't eat that. Well, you didn't really mean that they can do anything. What you meant was, you can do anything that I want to do. Not you can do anything that you want to do. You can do anything ... that I want you to do. And that's kind of where that kind of comes in. And what it does in those people's minds is it changes them from looking at you like an equal to looking at you like someone who's kind of like a teacher to them. Do you see what I'm saying? It makes them detached. Yeah. With the 11 there, the people they get a little bit detached. This is the coming together. This is the 2 of Cups, where you look at the other person as equal. Like you don't kind of like impose what it is that you want on them, and you let them be able to contribute to the relationship the same energy that you contribute, and you hope that these things will match up, you know. And then with the 11, it's just that it's about letting things, the 11 is detachment, it's letting things go, but it's also that number right there, that 11 right there is just making me think that if you love something, you let it go and it'll come back to you. And that's how you know it's yours, you know? That's how you know that someone is really your match, with that 11 there. And 11 could be a significant number, but this is just a choice, making the choice to collaborate with other people and not making it into a thing that's kind of more so about protecting yourself. Because I don't even really think it's from a bad place. Like, it's like a place like of, you know, you're trying to do it to get over on someone. You're just doing it to try to keep yourself from being hurt, you know? Yeah, this is the Justice card. Let me tell you what it says here. Sometimes our ego prevents us from seeing events clearly. It's time to detach emotionally so that you can step back and reevaluate, reflect upon how your relationships are working. Are they satisfying? What role do you play in their harmony or disharmony? An honest appraisal is required in order to gain clarity and help you better understand what might need to be done to improve them. Sorry. This is true even if the relationship is already a good one. It is important to accept that your previous actions, decisions, and beliefs have led you to your current situation, whether it's pleasant or difficult. We do steer the course of our lives, although often without conscious consent. By assessing your situation and accepting responsibility, you're able to free yourself from the need to blame others or destiny. There's no guilt associated with this card, only clarity and empowerment. Once you've detached yourself from and examine the relationship, lack of relationship, or other matters of the heart, you're in a better position to decide what your next step might be. What did I say? You have to take this step by step. You take that light with you. You'll know in every moment what to do, who to give to, who to grow more with, who to be more in love with, who to withdraw yourself back from, okay? Remember that the detached card has no ego. Decisions arrived at as a result of drawing this card must be fair and balanced for everyone involved. So yeah, you can't be unfair there with it. It has to be, this is all about teaching you. The person that comes in is about that. They come in, this person right here, when they come in riding like that, they teach you about this. This is something that they teach you about. It's funny because it's like you're the teacher. Or maybe if you're in a relationship already, this is something that you need to learn from your partner. Like, look, we can do this together. We get to decide on how we want this to go together. It's not just your way and me making sure that you're safe here, that you're secure here. I'm a whole person here. I have my own garden as well, you know, that needs to have attention as well. So this is just you kind of coming out of that state. I see you definitely doing it. I definitely see somebody coming here with the 2 of Cups here and the Ace of Pentacles. Somebody definitely comes in with some type of message or something like that. It could even be a gift, okay? I kind of feel like summertime, or somebody's giving you something. Maybe somebody gives something to you, or you see someone in nature. Look, dreams coming true. The 9 of Cups is there. Definitely you standing in that energy with the dreams coming true of that's the 9 of Cups, of wishing for it and expecting it to come and not watching it progress step by step and kind of sabotaging yourself in the process right there. Okay, so it's time for that cycle to change on out, my dear Virgo and variety. All right, thank you guys for tuning into this video. Please go ahead and click the subscribe button if you haven't. Like and comment on this video. I am available for one-on-one readings. That's down below, and you also can donate to my channel down below. There are also other pick-up power readings and other timeless readings on my page as well. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Bye bye.